Now, I want to walk around and show you. I walked past here earlier on, and I knew that there were like quite over here in this part of Ubon Ratchathani. There is a bunch of educational institutions, and there is a huge university just across the road over there. I'm just nearby next to the cultural centre here, the Ubon Ratchathani Cultural Centre, and if anyone would be wondering what that is, I've just gone in there because I thought it might be interesting to do a video there, because there were things that suggested, like over the internet, people suggesting there was a museum in there and some, obviously, plenty of cultural things to see. Now that may well be the case, but it is. I went in there, spoke with the staff, and for the first time just now, and it's basically a hotel. It's only a hotel, and there is no museum in there. So you know, it's not as if I looked deeply into obviously this place. I thought I'd take a cursory look, because obviously you don't know what, you know, a cultural centre could mean anything if you don't know, you know, what the place is. And it looked to me like, obviously with all the national flags there, that it was likely to be a government building. So I thought I'd Google it and just to look at it to see if it was for public consumption, which yeah, it's just a hotel. So nothing much to see there, walking along the corridors of a hotel. Do you know what I mean? Over here, this is like a whole, I don't know how to explain it, like this whole estate of educational institutions. Like I say, you got a couple of universities, one across the road opposite the cultural centre, and there's a university over here. And when I walk through here, I tell you what, the buildings, the architecture of the buildings, well, more so the age of the buildings, this is what I like about the provinces. This is what I like visiting. This is what I like about visiting sort of like hidden sort of away areas, like quiet areas. Not that Ubon Ratchathani is that small of an area. I mean, it's one of the major cities in Isan, and obviously you got the airport here. You got, you know, just, you know, so many things over here. It is one of the big cities here, and so, you know, you got a major road going to and fro here from the airport. Yeah, just looking in this stadium here. And the one thing about I was about to say the Philippines then. One thing about Thailand is about when you're talking about, you know, what people like to do over here in terms of national sport. And contrary to popular belief, yes, although Muay Thai is the national sport over here, and obviously it's widely practiced over here, the actual proper national sports over here in Thailand is actually soccer and badminton. Yeah. And so it's not like you go anywhere and to any of the educational institutions or go into any sport, because this is very much a sporting area. I noticed there was I don't know if they're like a high school or anything like that, practicing in these fitness centers, but people had, like, you know, their own uniforms on and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, I need to show this around, because it really does look like a great estate here, and there's a mixture of new and old buildings, and buildings that the way I see it, are actually new buildings, but built in a very traditional architecture type of style. Now, as we'll go along, I just want to point out the buildings here. They all appear to be educational centre, like educational institutions. And so I'm just finding it fascinating. There's this mixture between these sports stadiums. You've got a big football, soccer stadium over there. And it looks like a full-size stadium with all the seating there. It's basically it's an arena. It is a full-on arena, and just surrounding here as well, even going outside of this estate, there's another university and other educational institutions. I just think this looks, I just think this actual estate is just very alluring, and there are numerous science faculties around here. Now we're at the back of the cultural centre, and just want to show you, these buildings here, they look like they were built in the 60s or 70s. I wouldn't have thought that they were built as far as in the 80s. I could be wrong on that, but looking at it with the eye, I see this as being built in either the 60s or 70s. And you got some kind of business school there. And so basically these are schools. And you've got like the eating areas, there's a library here, and yes, here we are. You've got the seating arrangements for the canteen, for the university, and obviously for each of the educational institutions and faculties here. And I'll tell you what, with these buildings, it's really like anywhere you go in the provinces, anywhere in Southeast Asia, when you go through these buildings, it really does seem like you're going back in time. And the thing is, these places are just built solid. yeah, I mean, all these are clearly, I mean, this is a university. This is the university campus here. I want to go back on the outside and show you the buildings of these faculties here. I mean, it just looks, it's so historical and just busting with culture, you know. But this is what I really know of provinces, you know, the educational institutions and all these buildings all around. And it just goes to show you, we're in the provinces over here in the east of Thailand. We're right on the borders of Thailand. And, you know, the educational system here, and clearly the money spent here for education is obviously taken very seriously. Yes, I just wanted to capture a shot of this building here. I would say the way that these buildings are made, because back in the 50s and 60s, right, you got like these bricks, but they're like, you've got like, how do I explain this, like holes in, kind of like alternating bricks, like brick hole, brick hole, brick hole, like that, yeah. And I don't know if and I'm not sure if I caught that properly, but basically for every brick there'd be a hole, there'd be a space, and then a brick, and then a hole, and then a brick and a hole, like, you know, it's like each brick missing from, you know, each you know, each slot sort of thing. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, basically it's brick hole, brick hole, brick hole, and that's basically for ventilation. And obviously back in the day they didn't have air conditioning, just fans. So to obviously, because when you're talking about hot countries like here, they need that ventilation, yeah. And that's why I say, back in those times, back in those days, they needed to build their properties to have the proper ventilation going in. So yeah, that's 60s and 70s. These are 60s and 70s buildings here. So again, not sure if I've captured that, my example, what I'm talking about, but basically it's I'm going to try it again. The way it's been built is that they got like basically like a brick missing in every brick that's been laid, and that is for, and then they'll have like breeze block type bricks and concrete and then, you know, just have like a brick missing, like, and then you'll have the bricks actually designed that way as well, and like the concrete designed that way as well, like kind of like tiles, but with like hollow tiles, if you know what I mean, you know, just like the edges of the tiles, and the way it's been built is like with, you know, with that square missing. But oh yeah, law school. That would be Ubon Ratchathani University of Law. Let's go and look around here. And we have the lovely sunset. Here's what I'm talking about right here. So you see that, where you got the square holes? That's exactly what I'm talking about here, right here, square holes. And you've got the wooden window shutters, yeah, classic 50s, 40s, in fact, 40s and 50s. And then you've got the gated part of the window, so the window isn't actually glass, it's like a gate, and to open the window you open the wooden flap. And so you got visual arts, you got a visual arts institution there. And what I've noticed here is they've got a law school over there, they got a multitude of science faculties, they have a lot of arts schools, like, and we're going to go by there's a musical art center, art school over there when I go back the other way. So I'm going to go back round this block, I'm going to go around again, round the block. But yeah, these windows are classic 40s and 50s, these ones here. When these ones have windows, but you've got obviously the gate, I don't know what you call it, like the gating on the windows. And yeah, that, I mean, you know, that's to stop intruders, right? I mean, even this money changer place, I mean, it's brand new, but it's very interesting design there, like, you know, very modern. It kind of sort of stands out from all these very historical buildings, these schools here. I'll walk around a different block here, and hopefully I'll be able to find that music and art center again. But yeah, check out these trees. I mean, if you look at these trees and these plants are fantastic. Look at them, flowers and the plants. So I mean, it's a pretty large estate here, and during the day, obviously there's students around, and there's quite a bit of bit of activity going on around here. I mean, we're coming up to, well, we're at sunset now, so I think it's just the right time to have a look around this place as we watch the sun go down. So it's not actually only the buildings. I mean, look at these flowers. Look at these flowers. Look at these trees and these flowers. Oh. I mean, look at the pride that's been taken, just, you know, trimming these bushes like this. So clean and tidy. So much pride taken into obviously maintaining all these trees and plants. And if you just stop to look and pay attention to all of this, you would see that this takes a lot to maintain, a lot of effort to maintain, and a pretty good budget, I would say. Now let's see if there's some kind of walkway to go in there. It's a bit strange that, well, look at this. There's a nice pond there in the middle. I think the only way of access into there would be through the building, whatever that building is. And obviously, as low as the walls may be, obviously you don't want to go. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, no, there is a pathway here. So yeah, have a look at this pond. Wow. And there's some tube lights on those trees, on the branches of those trees. There's tube lights on the branches of those trees. Oh, and there's lights, there's coloured lights going over there as well. So when that's switched on, you can imagine that to look pretty darn special at night time. You can walk over these bricks and there's gaps in between. So you got to be careful. Could walk around the edges there, but it seems to be more fun walking on these concrete things. But yeah, when you walk through places like this, it really does, I mean, for me, captures my eye. It certainly does. And where was that? Oh, we're coming up to it now. This is just a lovely building. The architecture of this institution is just really nice. But like, see how traditional these buildings have been built. You see that in true Thai style, the way they do like the old triangular type roofing in very true Thai fashion, and it really does look just so traditional, do you know what I mean? And I'd say this building here that's alongside me, behind me, is, I'd say that's fairly new. Yeah, I'd say that's fairly new. But this building is new. This building's new. This is a new school right here. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when I tell you about architecture. And so here we go. I'm going to really show you a nice view of this. And this is a brand new building. This clearly is a very recently built building here. I don't know if there's a way to walk around there. Don't want to step on the grass because it's in such good condition, and it's really green as well. It's really green. It's real grass. It's really green, and so it's so well maintained. I do not want to be stepping on that grass. And look at this. Look how wonderful. And looks like they're constructing a new building over there, and no doubt this is within this educational institutional estate. This is within those boundaries, so that will be another school. That will be another school, I'd imagine. But here, check this out. Someone here ordering a Grab delivery. What's in store? Anything decent? Well, there's a bag full of ice there. I don't know what other. There's some food there, and a bag of ice. And there's usually one reason why I would be ordering a bag of ice, and that's if I've got a bottle of Jack Daniels or Jameson ready to pop open, because I am on the rocks guy, you know what I mean? Look at that architecture. Look at the detail, the detailing. Yeah, so this is the Department of Music. So, like, their arts and crafts over here, especially like the science labs, the science faculties over here. I mean, you can see there's money spent here on the education. I want to capture another shot at another angle here. Yeah, so this is the front. Or was it the front? No, just now was the front, wasn't it? This is like the side of it. Oh, and you got some students there doing some arts and crafts. I mean, check out that art there. That's pretty talented. And you got a volleyball net over here. So obviously during the break times you got folks out here playing volleyball. Volleyball also is a national sport here in Thailand. But yeah, we got some brand new buildings, and see, we're well within the confines. We're inside the confines of this estate here, and looks like there's several new buildings being constructed here. A lot of construction work going on here. There's been a lot of developments here. From the looks of it, the roads look new, the tarmacking looks new. Clearly that airport being there is going to be an attraction for, obviously not necessarily talking about international travel, because it's a domestic airport, so you get domestic flights to and fro. Like, what I mean is you get locals to and fro from here, coming here and to Bangkok very, very easily, very convenient. Let's sneak in here and have a quick peep. Yeah, that's another new educational institution being built there. I knew that they weren't that old. I knew that they were built traditionally and built in a very sort of like the way the architecture is very traditional and historical looking. But you can tell they're brand new. You can tell these buildings are brand new, and there's a classic example of one there now that's under construction and looks like it's almost finishing now. So we're so near to the airport that you can see the planes taking off and landing, obviously. So where I'm approaching this clock tower, it's a roundabout. It's a clock tower on the roundabout junction, and it takes you going back to the airport. So this clock tower on the roundabout junction, going to the airport. So you got yourself a few big universities here. So this ain't like some small rural part of the province. This is actually one of the main big cities here, and you can see by the main drags here, they're major arteries. Yeah, these just aren't your normal roads going from one town to another or to the shops. these are major arteries getting to getting to the airport, going to the other towns. Do you think I'm gonna look like a bit of a nutter if I run over, like just to that roundabout? The thing is, I don't think I'll be able to get there properly. It's difficult as it is crossing over the road, but then you'll have traffic going the other way, because if the traffic stops that way and it's clear to go, there'll be traffic coming from the other end as well. So I don't know if I'm gonna bother. Oh yeah, you've got traffic lights here. I'm confused. Well, it looks like it's good to go. I'm going to cross. Oh yeah. Right, made it. And this is what I mean by major roads here. People are going to be driving past looking at me thinking, what is that crackpot doing? Because I've got to go on. I've got to try and cross now, whilst not knowing how these lights are being operated, or oh god, oh damn, oh there's a bus coming. But yeah, what a great looking clock tower, very historical as well. Oh, you got a practice match going on there, soccer. Oh, let's cross. Yeah, this tarmac is very soft and obviously quite recent. Like, even if you talk like the last couple of years, it's quite recent. Yeah, so deep into the provinces, and if you wanted to really be immersed into the real part of Thailand where the real people are living, not just going over somewhere like Bangkok. A lot of people that live in Bangkok, the locals over there, aren't actually from Bangkok, and they're usually from other towns, provinces, and so they'll all have a hometown. If you ask someone, if you ask a local where their hometown is, very little, very few of them would actually say Bangkok. In fact, a lot of locals would say they're from Isan, and that goes the same with Phuket, the islands, and various other areas where people go to work. Like you go like somewhere like Patong in Phuket, and you ask, I don't know, any one of the locals, just ask around and ask where they're from, and they probably will be from Isan, somewhere from Isan. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to be immersed in somewhere like that, I mean, don't be afraid. No one should ever be afraid of going to any part of anywhere. I go to the cities of the destinations I go to, or the countries that I go to, because that's where I enjoy. That's what I like. I like all the convenience of everything all around. You know, I like just the convenience of everything. And I kind of grew up in the city and big town centres, outskirts of the city and things like that. So I'm more used to city living. But yeah, I mean, should never be, shall I say, hesitant or apprehensive about coming somewhere like here. Right, so anyway, it's getting really dark. I'm going to look for, well, yeah, it's getting really dark now. But yeah, I'll see you for the next installment.